Hi there, folks. Just trying to get everything set up. Sorry, I got a little bit of a late start because I'm a tweaker. So I'm tweaking things right up to beyond the last minute today. But we'll get it going here. So I'm setting up my iPhone so that I can see how many people are here. And I can see some comments. So look at that. There's Leslie Ann. And there's Oriana. Hi to you both. So we have 6 people here. Yeah, Leslie Ann, that's true. Very true. Not that I would know anything about that, but I guess in a professional way I did know about that. So a little reminder, we are about 8 seconds. We have an 8-second delay, so that's pretty good actually. And so when you post a comment, it takes about 8 seconds for me to see it. Hi, Helen. Good to see you here today. So we got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, and so it's going to be kind of a cursory look at 3 different topics. And unless I get carried away, maybe it'll just be 2 different topics, but we're going to do deeper dives into those on future programs. But I think I'm going to at least hit all 3 topics, because one of them is a public safety announcement, or a public service announcement, or a private health announcement, whatever you want to call it. It's an announcement. Hi, Betty. Welcome. And so it's very important for your health. So I have some personal experience to draw from on that, so I want to make sure that you're aware of that particular situation. And we've got show and tell today too. I've got some props here to enlighten our conversation. So lots of stuff going on, and I've got my throat tea here that's supposed to soothe my throat, because I seem to get all choked up when I do these things. I'm a little nervous, I guess. So I have Yogi throat tea. I'll try not to gargle while we're on the air, at least. So I guess one of the reasons that I have a problem with my throat is I don't talk to anybody all morning, and then I do this, so my throat is not warmed up. So I've seen some things about warm-up exercises, so I need to put that in my little checklist so I can do a little warm-up, the old vocal cords, before we get started. But we're going to push forward, croaking as we go. So nice weather we're having. I read or saw the other day that I think in a day or two it's going to be 112. Welcome to Tucson in July. A wonderful time. We would like to see the monsoon come in. One of my favorite things is it's 110, at noon, and then around 3 o'clock the monsoon rolls in, drops the temperature to 86, and we have a nice cool evening. So I'm hoping that's going to start happening real soon now. In case you're into abbreviations, if you ever see the abbreviation RSN, that does stand for Real Soon Now. So a little computer trivia for you there. Okay, we got about coming up on 3 minutes before launch. All systems are go. Have any of you watched the programs on Apple TV Plus? If you got a Apple device recently, you get a free 1-year subscription to Apple TV Plus. If you weren't aware of that and you did get a new Apple device, it doesn't count the watch. Let's see if we can get the watch turned. No watch counts. But if you bought a new Mac or you bought an Apple TV box, then you get a free year subscription to Apple TV Plus. And one of the programs on there that I really liked is about the space program, under the premise that Russia got to the moon first, and all the catch up that we had to do as the United States to get our space program in high gear. So it's a great, it's called For All Mankind. I was kind of stalling there until the title came into my brain, so it worked. Like I often say, there's a lot more data up there, so it takes longer to access. But I'm happy to say usually it does pop in after a while. So I'm really excited to bring a bunch of good information to you today. So we will get started here. And it's about 1 minute and 10 seconds. On your end, it's only 58 seconds on my side, so that tells you what the delay is. And the reason, in case you're interested why we start 10 minutes early, is just to get everybody here and make sure that my system is working and you can make sure your system is working. So that's why we have some talking and some music, so you know that your audio is working. I had a client call the other day who was on a Zoom meeting, but she couldn't hear anybody. And so I helped her get her audio set up. She was new to the Mac. And then I had just the opposite yesterday, when somebody had YouTube videos playing in the back, that somebody had sent her a YouTube video, and she couldn't get it to stop making noise. So it can go either way. So, hi and welcome to GoFor Lunch. I'm Roger Harmon. In case you haven't been here before, welcome. And if you have been here before, thanks for coming. So I'm with GoFor Technology, where we help you make your technology work for you. I think I'm going to have to work on that tagline. There's too many U's in there, but anyway. So we have a lot of things to talk about today, so we're going to just jump right in and talk about automatic updates. So both on your Mac and on your iPhone, default from the factory, automatic updates are turned on. So there's at least two schools of thought here. Number one is that way you're always protected. You get the updates automatically, and you don't have to worry about it. Then there's the second school of thought, which is my way of looking at it. Sometimes when Apple does automatic updates, they don't work right. So as you can see here, in this case, we're talking about the update to the iPhone 10.5.1. No, 10.5.1. I think that's what it is. So if we can make this little graphic move here. I did a screenshot And I've never done this before in this particular way. There it goes. Okay. So iOS 13.5.1 had a problem with the battery being sucked up too quickly. So this is the reason that I recommend that you do not have automatic updates turned on. You wait a while and find out if there's problems like this one, where the battery level is being sucked down too fast. So that's why we don't want automatic updates on. So how do we fix that? So if we go up here to the Apple menu and down to System Preferences, and this is, and may not be the same if you're running an older operating system. This will not be the same on your machine. So here's our System Preferences. So you can see here there's a gear down here where it says Software Update. So if we click on software, so that's called a badge, and you see badges on your mail, you see badges on your phone app, so you see badges everywhere. So a round circle with a number in it is a badge, and we need those stinking badges. So as you can see right here, there is a little checkbox that when checked will automatically keep your Mac up to date. So we want that unchecked. So you go to Apple menu, System Preferences, you click on the gear. This is the graphic right here for the gear, and that's the software update, and you uncheck that. So how do you know when you should do the update? Well, if it's terrible, which it has been occasionally, it'll be on the nightly news. But if it's not so terrible, you can check with me, and I will tell you when it's safe to update. So I take the bullet for you. I do the updates. Usually what I do is I do it on my iPad because it's not as mission critical as my iPhone. So I test it on my iPad first, and then I do web searches for, is anybody having a problem with this update? So now you can see after it searched for a while, this is in the Mac, it has an update for Catalina 10.15.5. So I haven't done that update yet. It's been out for a while, but I'm still checking. And then down here, they've changed this. So again, if you're on an older operating system, it won't look exactly like this. So if we check more, here's the other updates that are available. Now we always want to do our security updates right away. So you don't have to wait on security updates. And as you can see here, it says restart is required. So that sometimes throws people because they do the update and all of a sudden the screen goes black and they're wondering what's going on here. But just be patient, it'll come back. So we also have a Safari update. So those are usually okay to do right away. And so you would just click on Install Now. Obviously, we're not going to do that right now because we don't want the stream to stop. So another little tip that I've mentioned to you in person is you never want to close a window with the red dot. Why is that? Because in some apps, it does quit the application. So as you can see up here in the top left-hand corner, we're in System Preferences. We click the red dot, and in this case, it quit System Preferences. But in a lot of cases, like Mail, for example, if you close the window, Mail is still running. So make sure you go up to the application and click on Quit. Okay, so we're going to go back here. Okay, so I'm going to do a GoFor tech briefing on how to turn off automatic updates on your iPhone and your iPad. So go to the YouTube channel. The links are in the Gopher Gazette that you get every Monday morning. So just go to the link to our YouTube channel, and you will find Tech Briefing should be number 4. So that'll show you how to do it on your iPhone and your iPad. Okay, next topic. So in Gopher Briefing number 2, we talked about a service from a website called HaveIBeenPwned.com, and you insert your email in that website, and it checks your email to see if your email has been in any breaches. Well, guess what I got? I got an email that says I've been pawned. So again, pawned is spelled P-W-N-E-D. I always want to put an A in there. P-W-N-E-D. So that's again, it's an internet term that means that your email and possibly your passwords have been compromised because they were hacked, and some company's website was breached and they have your information. It depends on how much they have. So what they recommend to counter this problem is to use a password manager and to use unique passwords. Where am I? Oh, hi. Use unique passwords on every site, especially financial sites. So you don't want to use the same, my dog's name plus my street address numbers on every website, because you're saying, oh, please, Mr. Hacker, come steal my information and use it everywhere you possibly can. So we don't want that. So they recommend 1Password, and this is a free service. I like these little graphics. So this is one guy who actually works for Microsoft, and this is his side gig, but it's not much of a gig because unless people donate money to him. So he's got a little graphic here. You could either buy him a beer or a cup of, I think that's supposed to be a cup of coffee actually. Buy him a cup of coffee. Buy him a 6-pack, that's the beer, or send a donation that allow him and his family to go to the movies. Well, I guess you wouldn't do that right now, but someday we'll be able to go to movies once again. So that's just a reminder that your information could be out there and it could be compromised. So now let's talk about my public service announcement, my public health announcement. And that is called computer vision something, CVC, no, computer vision. Anyway, it's all about your eyes, okay? So what happens when you are sitting in front of that computer screen, and iPhone and iPad screens count for this as well? What happens? Well, first let me check for any questions. Yes, Doriana, this is being recorded. So the way that works is it automatically goes to my YouTube channel, which again, the link is in the Gopher Gazette. But it has the countdown timer on it. So I get in there as soon as I can and I chop off the countdown timer. But you can, of course, fast forward in YouTube to get past that. So all of our GoFor Lunch programs are there. One of them is actually, the first one is there twice. So, okay. So thanks for that question. And so computer eye strain. So there is a lot of information about this. So here are the symptoms that you can get from watching that screen. And of course, this could be from television screens too. So it's any electronic screen. So you could have pain and tension, around your eyes or temples, which can spread to your head, neck, and back. And there's a whole nother thing called tech neck, which I discovered. I mean, I knew about it, but I never had a name for it. And of course, that's when you're holding your iPhone and you're looking down at it. Tech neck. We'll talk about that more in a future episode. So you can certainly have eye dryness or redness. You can have fatigue. You can have sensitivity to light. Of course, headaches are a big part of this. And you can also have difficulty in performing visual tasks. You can have blurred vision, and you can have double vision. So why am I talking about this? Well, it's pretty simple. It happened to me. So about 2 weeks ago, I was doing something, and I was actually seeing double. So the text on the screen was offset by, like a 1/16 of an inch or something. And I have a chart that I keep in my bathroom from my retina specialist that I'm supposed to look at to see if I'm getting macular, whatever that symptom is. It's up here. It's coming out. And so I went and looked at that chart, and sure enough, I saw multiple lines horizontally on my little chart. So I was a little concerned that I was getting macular degeneration. Is that the word I'm looking for? I think so. So I fortunately got in to see my ophthalmologist, and I was very happy to get in within a couple of days. And she checked me out, and she said, "You're okay. Stop watching all those screens, Roger." So she said my main problem, besides too much screen time, is dry eyes. So what do you do if you have dry eyes? Well, you turn over here to the next of your computer, and I wish I was selling these or getting commission, but I'm not. So what I have had but not been using is Refresh Plus. So Refresh Plus comes in these little vials, individual servings. So all you do is twist off this little top here, and you squeeze the little bulb that's built in there. And let's see if the autofocus is working here. Nah, not so much. Maybe if I take that away, it'll work. Anyway, so these little things in here, and you get 100 of these in a package. So it's 100. There we go. Single-use containers. And you can get these at your local drugstore, or probably less expensive at Costco. So right now at Costco, if you go into the drug department, that sounds funny to say that. It's as you go towards the pharmacy, it's in the far left-hand corner. So that's where you can find them with all the other eye care stuff. So that is one thing you can do. And of course, another thing you can do is give your eyes a rest. So it's called the 20-20-20 rule. So how does that work? Every 20 minutes, you take a 20-second break. And during that 20-second break, you focus your eyes on something at least 20 feet away. So that gives your eyes a break, a little rest, so it's not focusing at the same distance all the time, and that's where this eye fatigue comes from. So you give your eyes a break, they recover. It apparently only takes 20 seconds to get the job done, and that's what you can do. Now, some of us who have Apple Watches have a setting on there that tells us at 50 minutes after the hour to stand for at least a minute. So that's another good thing if you do that. And of course, we are going to include in that standing that you stand as you have to kind of move to get that watch to register that you're standing. So, walk into the kitchen, get a snack, drink some water, be hydrated. And of course, that will also take your eyes off your screen. So you could do 2 2020s, and then 1 stand, and that would be your 3 breaks for your eyes in an hour. So I think this is very important. It came in very clear to me that I needed to do this, and so I am doing it. So you can see I've got my eye refresh little eye drops there, and my eye doctor said that those were good. They're organic, so there's no preservatives or anything in them, and so she approved of those. So you don't have to buy anything prescription. It's all over the counter. So that is what I wanted to tell you today. And now for your questions, if we have any. So let's see. Carolyn says, is it okay to have updates on your phone? So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a GoFor Tech briefing. It should be number 4, I think. And that is going to cover how to do it on your phone and your iPad. So again, it's the same deal. Unfortunately, now my little soapbox here. I think in some ways, I'm a big Apple fanboy, but in some ways, Apple has gotten too big. And I think what's happening is all these different developers are kind of in silos and they don't check with the other silos. Okay, so they do their thing, but there's not enough cross-checking with the other developers doing something else to find out if what they're doing is adversely affecting what other people are doing. And the old salts, the experienced software engineers are retiring, or they're getting kicked upstairs, and so they don't have the oversight that they used to have that would catch these little problems that pop up in these updates. So Apple is working on this. They've implemented programs to improve their quality control. So hopefully this will get under control. So let's see. Yes, thank you, Carolyn, for helping me with macular degeneration. Okay, so Leslie Ann, I will call you about finding your photos on your OWC drive, and we can do that. So if you have any other questions, now is the time to type them in there. And I think we will wrap this up. I was just curious if you found the little tip in our GoFor Gazette about saving receipts. Hopefully that helps somebody. Again, we do have the replays in our YouTube channel. Again, the link is in the GoFor Gazette. We did a tech briefing number 3, which I encourage you to watch. We're going to redo that. So it didn't work the way I wanted it to, but I've now figured out how to make it to work the way I want it to. So we're going to redo that so it's more instructive. And so, again, email or comment your questions, or you can even give us a phone call. So let's wrap it up there. I hope you'll join us next week. Same time, 12 noon, same station, YouTube Live, and have a great rest of your week.